So Lost Legacy is a quest chain that parallels aspects of Season 5, which we've already done on screen. And so I'll point them out as we get there.
Praise Akarat. His will be done. Lead us to darkness, so our light may shine and purify.
So Ksenia is the one Zakarum Crusader I actually like. There will be a second one in Zakarum, but currently she's a squire. If we decide to do that tonight, we will then help her on her journey to become a crusader. A statue of a saint of the Zakarum faith, her name forgotten to time. So I have two crusaders that I like in this whole section. This is one of them, and all she wants to do is lay her predecessors to rest because they don't need to suffer. And then there's another one who goes and takes on her mentor's mantle, including her name, and you kind of help with that growth. Alright, so we approach the Crusader Ksenia.
Ah, forgive me, friend. I was lost in prayer. I am Ksenia. I am surprised to find another here. It is no small feat to wander where Mephisto's grasp is tight. Even my fellow Crusaders refuse to tread here. Perhaps we were both led here by the light. The dim flames, smothered by Mephisto's presence. Yes, that must be it. We were destined to bring peace to this monument of hatred. Come, join me when you are ready. But do not waver, lest I purge the darkness without you.
I love Ksenia's faith so much. She is so driven to be this beacon of light, but, like, legitimately. How did you learn of Mephisto's presence?
His presence clings to every stone inside these walls. Even now he conjures images, whispers, cowardly illusions meant to test my faith. I found records here, murals, books, some scrolls. They tell of this fort's purpose. Sankekur's fate is well known, but to think his body is here. This darkness is... it clings to you, tries to drown you. For the light, we cannot fail.
Let us purge this place of Mephisto's presence.
Ha! May we scour away any trace of Mephisto's corruption. These halls were sealed long ago to contain the darkness. Now I shall cast them open to bring in the light.
So for anyone who doesn't play Diablo, Mephisto is Lilith's father, literally the Lord of Hatred.
May the light guide our way.
And at one point there was a monk, I think. He was a holy man who managed to do quite a bit of damage. Mephisto ended up corrupting him, and now his body literally reeks of hatred, and so he was buried here. The end of the Season 5 story is breaking into his crypt to essentially purge Mephisto's influence from his body, only to discover that the Zakarum had cut him into pieces and buried the pieces separately, so you had to then put him back together like a fucked up jigsaw puzzle. We could not find his eyes, so the person who's helping you takes one of his own eyes out, just rips it out of his head. You don't even get to interact, to pace it. He's just like, oh, wait, I know what to do. And suddenly there's blood all over the floor, and he hands you his eyeball to put it in Sankekur's head so you can finish the ritual. It was so much, y'all. Alright, so we join Ksenia inside the sealed quarters. I may take the opportunity to do...
Here is thick, somehow even stronger. And yet the halls are quiet. Do the minions of hell hide from us? Ha!
I love her so much. She just feels like the epitome of I am the most paladin you will ever meet, and I'm here for this.
This looks interesting.
Urgent letter, a note written in large bold letters that is clearly pinned to a sword, pinned into the ground.
I, Carthas, and my most trusted retinue, Alodia, Mathias, and Eleazar, seal this place with ourselves inside. Though we fall to Mephisto's corruption, we shall not forget our duty. Even in death, we guard the body of Sankekur.
Carthas. I have not heard that name. I had heard of Sankekur being defeated, but what happened after is shrouded in mystery.
I heard a door open, and there's no one here to open doors, so clearly it's either that rat or enemies. Ruined tapestry beneath a window. Clearly it's fallen, right? A frayed tapestry depicting a paladin slaying a faded representation of Mephisto. The mural is worn and battered. Despite its state, the artistry is clearly evident.
These walls were beautiful once. There is devotion in these walls. How could such a holy place fall to such evil?
I mean, we've seen the most blood-covered puppy is quite convincing when he's talking to you. Before I realized he was Mephisto, like, everyone on stream got to see me go, puppy, every time he showed up, and then we went, oh, you're Lilith's dad. Fuck. Hilarity says, oh, Mephisto is still around. So, one of the reasons I'm doing this replay, so this character still has Act 6 and the epilogue to go, so that's going to be Sunday of the actual campaign. And basically, Mephisto was defeated in previous Diablo games, but his essence is reforming in Hell. What Lilith wants to do, Lilith has been banished from Hell for rebelling and creating Sanctuary. And so Act 2, which involved Donan's son getting killed, was Lilith made a deal with a demon lord who has authority in the realm of hatred. So Lilith now basically has a backdoor access. Like, she can get into hatred. She plans to consume her father's reforming essence, become the next Lord of Hatred. But while she intends to protect Sanctuary, the rest of us have questions on whether she'd actually retain her personhood at that point. Would she be capable of protecting Sanctuary against the other two Lords of Hell? Lorath, our mentor, is just like, well, we can't take her at her word anyway, like, we just can't take the risk, and so we fight Lilith. I'm personally convinced that there is no good answer in any of this. And we will see on Sunday as I go, oh no, my feelings. But currently, if you look up there is a live action cinematic for Vessel of Hatred right now. So many content warnings for gore and personal trauma. If you start watching it, get all the way through, because about halfway you're going to think this is as bad as it can get. It slightly improves if you can get to the end. That's all I will say. No spoilers. But yes, it definitely confirms Mephisto is definitely, for want of a better term, alive. Every time I see him as a puppy, I go, you're helping. And then I am reminded that he is an otherworldly entity and is not helping. No. But yeah, alright. So we continue to look for the source of corruption within the sealed quarters.
These were paladins. They turned on each other.
And so if we look close, Mathias's remains are in the center, right? Everyone, oh my god, boys. You make this so difficult. Thank you. So clearly someone was stabbed in the back, right? You can see that. And there's Mathias. And this fight definitely means that none of the remains are left, which is why I wanted to look at it up close before we cleared the floor. And that sword was called Mathias' Betrayal. Hyler Mage says, very old name, I think, too, even way before the Faustian legend. Yep. Mephisto's corruption pollutes them even in death.
Look there. Blood flows from this blade as though the wound were made moments ago. Hatred has seeped into their very souls. I know of a ritual that will cleanse this evil. Surely this is why the light has guided me here. We must collect these tainted blades and find a suitable place to perform the ritual. Only then will the spirits of these fallen faithful be redeemed. My blade quivers in anticipation!
I love her so much. Like she could feel like a joke, but she genuinely means all of this. She just wants to help. Okay, so there are papers here. There's a single person. I assume he killed himself. An old yellowed note. A letter written with a shaky hand. Given that it is all lowercase with no punctuation, and some of it runs together, I presume that it is meant to be disjointed. They have turned. My mind is breaking. I am not a coward. I do not run. This is my only victory. My blade hungers for blood. It shall only find mine own. So this would be Eleazar's choice.
He could feel himself turning, but he refused to lose us. His influence withstood it for so long. I need more
Alright, the next is Alodia's Wrath. Alodia would have been the healer. Alright, so, again, bunch of dead people, and one sitting in front of a Bloodied Lectern. It says Alodia's Wrath, so she also might have just killed everybody. She was the healer, and when healers decide they're killing everybody, everybody's going to die. The Bloodied Lectern has a message written in dried blood. I couldn't stop them, forgive me. Just over and over and over again. So it could also be...
should have protected them. Their faith should have... No. Now is not the time to falter. We must succeed. To give them the rest they deserve.
I will stop you! I will not fail again! I will strike before you have the chance!
The light.
I lack those wire lessons.
Darkness here. I can feel it taking its toll on me. These paladins, to have suffered this for so long. We mustn't delay. To perform the ritual, we must find where the curse took root. A place of immense hatred.
Oh, we heard a door unlock. Right.
Do you feel it? The hatred lingers here like smoke. This is where we must perform the ritual. Place the cursed blades here.
So I presume that this was the leader, right? And thus was probably the first to die. As I recall, now time for a wave fight. Speak with Ksenia to begin the ritual. How are you feeling?
I had come here certain that I could purge the evil from this place. I believed my faith in my blade could cut through any darkness. But I see now that the light brought us here for a different purpose. These paladins have suffered through much. Though Mephisto may still corrupt this land, his hold over these spirits will cease. That, at least, I can do.
I'm ready to begin the ritual.
Good. The spirits will cling to their hatred. I am trusting you to bring these paladins peace.
There is an unsent letter.
I was there when Sankekur fell. I felt Mephisto's magic clawing at my mind. Even today, when I remember that moment, I am unsure if the anger I feel comes from him or me. But that does not hinder my faith. Remember, brothers and sisters, the light won that day. We rallied. We defeated a prime evil. And what's more, we did it together. The darkness will never extinguish the light. It is our duty to ensure that. The day we discovered the corruption within our faith was the day we began anew. It was the day I knew I was truly fighting for the light.
The spirits look to have been freed.
Yes, I believe so. The paladins are finally at peace. I could not have done this alone. The light shines bright within you. I must return to Zarbinzet. I shall tell the other Zakarum of Carthas and the paladins who gave their lives to contain Mephisto's corruption. May the light guide your way.
And so the reward you get is Carthas's blessed hammer. Despite its cracked and dulled appearance, the hammer still hums with holy energy. Alright, so now we're going to teleport back to Zarbinzet because I believe she has a follow-up quest for us. Remembering the Fallen. Ksenia returns to Zarbinzet to ensure the paladin's sacrifice is remembered. But yeah, so this is where the memorials are. Here's a statue of Akarat. Tarnished by time and nature. Surprisingly, the tome he holds is still legible. Embrace the light with all that you are, and you will overcome any evil that stands before you. You made it back safely from the fort.
Yes, indeed. Truthfully, our victory against Mephisto left me emboldened. I lingered at the fort, managing to find some partial record of the paladins who stayed there. I aim to carve the name of every paladin into stone, though it seems I may need to find another plaque soon.
Have you told others of the paladins?
There were attempts, yes. Some could not believe, and others, I think, chose not to believe. But we were able to gather additional markers, and this plaque here. It is not much. I wish I could do more. But I hope that this at least means future generations will learn of their sacrifice.
Place a paladin grave marker. And so the shield you get precisely matches the shield that's glowing on the ground. I appreciate that. And she has nothing else for us.